right, so this is going to be part 2 of my Introduction to Objective Personality series of videos. And this one is going to be talking about the cognitive functions and the human needs. So, first of all, let's just briefly talk about the letters that are used in objective personality. So, like the Myers-Briggs, objective personality also has the sensing, intuition, and the thinking and feeling coins. Objective personality defines sensing as focusing on facts and data and what can be proven in reality. Intuition is focusing on ideas, theories, concepts, and assumptions, things that cannot be proven in reality. So sensing and intuition make up a binary coin. Then there's thinking and feeling. Thinking uses logic to validate what works or doesn't work. And feeling uses values to prioritize what does or doesn't matter. So thinking feeling is another binary coin. So this is similar to Myers-Briggs. Now, what's different than Myers-Briggs, though, is that objective personality does not have a binary coin for introvert, extrovert, or judging, perceiving. Now, objective personality does talk about like EP types, for example, or IJ types, but it's used to define the human needs. It's not really a binary coin, and we'll get into more detail in a short bit. So, objective personality uses 8 different cognitive functions, and objective personality defines them as follows. So, SI is organizing facts. SE is gathering facts. NI is organizing concepts. NE is gathering concepts. TI deals with one's personal reasons. TE deals with the tribe's reasons. What are the reasons of the people around you, the spectrum of reasons? FI deals with one's personal values, and FE deals with the values of the tribe, the people around you, that spectrum of values. So these definitions are pretty short, concise, and simple, and there's a reason for that, because by having, simple, concise, consistent definitions, these definitions are easy to apply, and we're defining them in the same way to get more consistency. Okay, so let's talk about the human needs in objective personality. So objective personality borrows from the human needs that Tony Robbins came up with. So Tony Robbins is a famous inspirational and motivational speaker. And he says that there's 6 core needs that are common to everybody. Everybody has all 6 of these needs, but some of these needs will be stronger in some people than others. So somebody, for example, might have a strong need for certainty, and somebody else would have a stronger need for variety. So the 6 needs that Tony Robbins came up with, the first one is certainty. This is reaching stability through routines and rituals in order to build something. Number 2 is variety, exploring different outcomes and possibilities to avoid boredom. Number 3 is significance, creating an identity that differentiates us from other individuals. Number 4, connection, relating to other individuals by sharing something in common. Number 5, contribution, to give something in return that benefits your environment. Number 6, growth, to become a well-balanced and mature individual. So the first 4 of these human needs are found to correlate with cognitive functions in objective personality. So in the left-hand column here are the human needs as Tony Robbins defines them. And this is the corresponding human need and objective personality. Objective personality uses a bit different terminology for them, but it's basically describing the same thing. So the human need of certainty by Tony Robbins is called the organized human need in objective personality. And it corresponds to the cognitive functions of SI and NI. So as you recall, SI is organizing the factual data, organizing what's physically concrete, and NI is organizing concepts, and abstractions. The human need of variety, of course, is called gather in objective personality. And this correlates to SE and NE. So SE would be gathering different facts or different things in the physical concrete world. And NE is gathering the different concepts, the abstractions, the possibilities, things that cannot necessarily be proven in reality. So both SE and NE are gathering more and more rather than narrowing down and organizing. So the organize and gather represent opposite sides of a binary coin. Those that are stronger in organize are going to tend to be weaker in gather and vice versa. Everybody has a need to both organize and gather, but one is going to be stronger than the other one. Okay. The human need of significance is called the human need of self in objective personality. And this corresponds to the cognitive functions TI and FI. So with TI, it's about having your own individual personal logic and reasons for things. This is what works for me. It's not necessarily focused on what works for other people. FI would be your own personal values. What is important to me? And again, it's just looking at yourself. It's not looking at what other people value. And then there's connection. This is called tribe in objective personality. So this corresponds to TE and FE. So with TE, it's focused on the tribe's reasons, the tribe's logic, what works for people. How can we make this work for everybody would be what TE would be doing. FE looks at the tribe's values. What does the tribe value? What does the tribe think is important? So self and tribe are also opposites. Now, everybody has both needs for the self and the tribe, but one is typically stronger than the other. They make up opposite sides of a binary coin. Now, going back to this previous slide here, these last two human needs, contribution and growth, don't correlate with any one specific cognitive function. You kind of look at it like, people that are into their own personal development will naturally gravitate towards growth to become a more well-balanced and mature individual. And then once they've done a lot of growth, then they're going to want to contribute something to the world. So these last two can correlate with all the cognitive functions. So how do these human needs then correspond to the 16 Myers-Briggs types? So for those whose core human need is to organize, that's their strongest, most dominant human need, remember that corresponds to SI and NI. So types that lead with either SI or NI as a function are the IJ types. So this is ISTJ, ISFJ, INFJ, and INTJ. Okay, so just going to jump to this slide here. So this shows the cognitive function stacks of all 16 of the types. Okay, and like Myers-Briggs, objective personality also uses these cognitive function stacks. So I've underlined what the dominant function is for each of these types. So ISTJ, for example, its stack is SITEFINE. So it leads with SI, and then the opposite function, NE, is the weakest function. So ISTJ has the strongest human need for organize, and since its opposite human need is gather, that's generally the weakest human need for the ISTJ, with the self and the tribe human needs being in the middle. And then just to review really quick, how these cognitive function stacks work is the last function is always opposite the first function. Let's just look at another type. So like ESFJ, for example, FE is the strongest function. The opposite function is TI. That would be the last function. And then when you look at the cognitive function stack, if the first function is introverted, the second function is extroverted. So ISTJ, introverted sensing as the first, extroverted thinking as the second. ESFJ down here would be FE as the first, and then SI would be the second. It's an introverted function. And then also the second and third functions are the opposite of each other. So T and FI are opposites, and then down here, SI and NE would be opposites. Okay, so for gather, that corresponds to SE and NE. So the EP types are going to be the types that lead with gather as their strongest human need. ESTP, ESFP, ENFP, and ENTP. Okay, and then they're shown in this row over here in green in the type table. Self, leading with TI and FI, those are the IP types, ISTP, ISFP, INFP, and INTP. They're shown in this row here in blue. And finally, tribe, leading with TE or FE. So these are going to be the EJ types, ESTJ, ESFJ, ENFJ, and ENTJ. And that occupies this bottom row right here. So that's a bit about the cognitive functions and the human needs in objective personality. So the next video is going to be talking about observing functions and deciding functions. And this is going to make up a binary coin, which I think is really interesting, called the observing deciding coin. So stay tuned for the next video. If you want to get notifications when these new videos come up, please subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button for notifications. And also in the description for this video, I will have a list of useful objective personality links. I will link to Dave and Shan's content. I also link to an objective personality for dummies guide that Miguel Iglesias and I created, and it introduces all the basic concepts of objective personality in a written booklet form, because I like to appeal to different learning styles. You know, some people like to learn through videos, some people like to learn through written word. So I like to offer both to people. And then I also have a directory of objective personality links, linking everything, all the links I could find that are known about objective personality. So you can check that out as well. Have a great day. Bye-bye.